Terracotta Sentinels, Armor Crushers in patch 8.1. You are a Lord Magistrate. Your heart despairs at the armor worn by chaos-loving foes everywhere, from the tallest destroyer to the stout infernal Iron Swarm. Is there a way to make your arrows pierce deeper, your blades bite further? Yes, for the Terracotta Sentinel is not merely a bulwark against evil, its mighty weapons sunder armor itself. This is your story. Yeah, did you know they have armor sundering now, and that's kind of a big deal? Recruited for 1600 gold and 400 upkeep, on Ultra they stride in with 12,620 health. Note from the start, the unit card calls them cumbersome, as in, their attack animations are a bit long, so keep that in mind. Armor is an even 100, missile resistance 15% helps further. Leadership 85 is very high, but remember, this is a construct in the sense it'll crumble rather than flee. Considering its size, speed 48 and charge speed 54 means it repositions surprisingly well. Melee attack begins at 65. Not only is this a magical attack construct, bypassing physical resistance, the brand new Armor Sundering reduces armor of units struck by -30 for 10 seconds per application. I mean the attack's slow, but not that slow. Attack interval of 4 seconds helps when recovering from the attack animations, splash target size large means trolls and ogres on down, and max targets damage health-wise is 6. They will disrupt a lot more than 6, but they will only damage 6. That's a lot less than in the old splash system, and that helps keep them viable for actually killing rather than just maiming. Melee defense begins at 30. This is typical of giants. They are vulnerable to ankle biting up to a point. Weapon strength 630 is quite high, split base 160 and armor piercing 470, so the Sentinel benefits relatively little from Sundering. That's not the point, lots of other stuff does. Charge bonus is a healthy 40, helpful when charging something its own size, and mass is 6500 rather than even heavier like some creatures. This counts as a siege attacker for better gate bashing, causes fear and terror, has an encouraged radius to bolster leadership by +3 in the absence of lords or heroes for a little bit better holding, and has Yang battle harmony. When triggered, that's a minimum of +4 leadership, +4 melee attack and defense, up to +8 with 100% harmony amplifier from lords. Don't ignore this. In a duel against a high-profile target, those metrics matter. The Regiment of Renown, the Green Guardian, costs 2,000 gold. Wait, actually they took off 50 gold. That's a really recent change. And 500 upkeep, so even more than before. Missile resistance of 25% is 10 better. Leadership 95 is from being rank 9. Melee attack 78 or 13 better is likewise from being max rank. Melee defense 38 is a better, same idea. The special sauce for this unit is redirecting aura. From what it looks like, and I'm trying to confirm in the demo combats, is that within 55 meters, every missile unit is affected by a version of Missile Mirror, and the projectiles they fire, does not mechanically matter if they fire at the Sentinel or not, are reflected back at the firing unit. Obviously this does nothing if you're 150 meters away getting clocked by crossbow units, but blunderbusses at 50 meters? Wow, this would be quite something. Of course, resisting enough missiles to get that far, and so on, helps a ton. When building a Cathay Lord Redline skills, Sentinels benefit from Stone Gaze. 3 pips gives armor +12 and weapon strength +12%, so the bruisers bruise more. Unified Charge gives rank 7 and up, or the RoR, speed +10%, melee attack +5, and physical resistance +10%, nothing wrong about this. In the Cathay tech tree, Mastery of Yang gives leadership +4, and leadership is your lifeline at low health. Yang Reflection gives +10% weapon strength when attacking, and every bit helps. Inner Speed's +20% speed makes them even more mobile, but of course that's between attack animations. Drill Training for all melee units gives armor +10, leadership +6, and melee defense +4. Jade Veteran Facility gives upkeep -10%, +2 recruit rank, and +4 melee attack. Those are the general buffs. Sentinel Rights actually has its access from the Yin side or through the Wu Xing tech path. This gives armor +20, melee defense +4 more, we're collecting a lot of that now, and if rank 7 and above, physical resistance +10%. Finally, Blessed Temple Guardians, accessible from both sides, grants melee attack +4, weapon strength +10%, and if rank 7 and above, unyielding assault meaning nothing in the game can reduce the melee attack figure, not fatigue, not contact effects, not spells. So, how do we deploy Terracotta Sentinels to sunder our foes? Yeah, this is the point of doing this video now. We have existing means of reducing armor, Lore of Yin passive, rust from the Lore of Metal, but did we have an easy source of armor sundering? No! It was a weakness in the entire faction, and lack of it was a huge impediment to your peasant archers and Jade Warrior crossbows and even your peasant long spearmen. This is to say, there's a long list of units helped out by armor sundering, not least of which the Great Moon Bird, which will make the Sentinel fight harder and longer, even if far removed from your front lines. The more normal use would be to use a Sentinel to replace what you'd normally see as a melee hero's job, acting as a roadblock for enemy charges and delaying missile units fire in. Now, not only do you have this as an option with 6500 mass to say thou shalt not pass, but a wide variety of magical spells, not least of which Lore of Yang linchpins, can blast the whole area and wreck stuff, and wreck the Sentinels very little. If you're Zhao, horse trading with Gelt for a mortar gives you some simple options for another arc of attack too. Nangao Grenadiers won't hurt the Sentinel much while annihilating things around it, and operate so close that Harmony activates regardless. So what's our value proposition? A couple of weeks ago, the Sentinel was an interesting feature, and had a lot of problems keeping it operating at max strength. We had just gotten Life Claw speakers to help a lot, but Shadow and Occam's Mind Razor could be very nice. Pit of Shades on blobs. Beasts has a Celestial Lion from Transmutation of Kadan, and they do not rampage, by the way. But it's this latest change that puts Sentinels really back on the tactical map. All of a sudden, the Sentinel makes everything short of your absolute peak, like Dragon Crossbows or Crane Gunners, much better proportionately. Not that Dragon Crossbows will mind a little extra damage, you just notice it a lot more on units that are not Dragon Crossbows. So, how do we boost this even further? I'll refer you to my Satang the Watcher video. He does a ton just by himself. Highly notable, besides this, is the Astromancer, because one flavor of high-end buff is making every Sentinel in that army an Astromantic warding generator, granting plus 10% physical resistance to self and every ally in a 35-meter radius. It's like making everyone 10% more ninja. Anything past this is fluff. You already have immense value and clear paths to success. Satang can use a whole posse of these guys. Ordinary generals might settle for one in a key place. One can be enough. Softening that Chaos Dragon up might be just the thing you need to turn it into a goldfish full of pins with X's in its eyes. Take care and have fun proving that the best defense is a glaive through the chest.